All right, here we are at the end of the first operating round. This is probably the last turn of the game in terms of set of operating rounds. Biggest run was 50 a share over on the ABC. It's running that 4 diesel and really cutting from the lumber company up. This doesn't and around and over. It's kind of interesting track that had to be built there, and they weren't the only one interested in it. And we're going to probably see the other 4 diesel getting close to that. They can't reach the lumber company, which causes them problems, but they get the 20 points off the named train. Okay, this is the part of the game that I actually really dislike the most. I mean, there's no more decisions to make. All the stock's sold. I know it's going to end. I'm not sure who's going to win, but I'm just playing it out mechanically and trying, you're trying to improve your routes, etc., and compete with people. But I actually don't enjoy that part very much. For me, the game is all about the stocks and the manipulation of them and the trains. What trains can you get? How can you arrange yourself to get the right train at the right time? So I think this is what differentiates some people like, say, 1829, where a lot of the game is about track building. 1870, too much of the game for me is about track building. I like the way this one works. I like the fact it feels like 1830 at this point. I mean, every single game I like has this period of the game's over in terms of decisions, and now what? The ones that I really despise, 1870, 2038, are because this period, after everything's dropped, lasts too long. Mainly because I think you can't. It's a matter of there being too big a bottleneck on the trains in both those cases. I think if you remove a couple of permanent trains, one doesn't do it, surprisingly. I've tried that option in both games. It has to be more. Or, here was another one that makes the game really how I like it. For 1870, you have a set of trains that go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, I think. I wanted to have the 10s kill the 5s. I don't think they do that. And maybe the 12s kill the 6s. I wanted to add additional rules to kill trains to get more trains out in that game. That makes a longer game, maybe, but one where action's still happening. I'm not sure I'm going to play out. I'm not sure I'm going to video every round anymore. I just wanted to get some things said. Oh, foul torture. So I finished that operating round, and clearly there's not going to be another stock round. There's $2 left in the bank. That means another whole operating round. This game is different from 1830 in that. In 1830, and I think in most of the series, you play out a complete set of operating rounds. So if the bank broke on the first operating round early, that's kind of a bonus for people who made investments on the turn before. There are times when the game can run more operating rounds over the bank's death. In this case, there's sort of a tight limit to how much money any person is going to make because, well, how much money is going to be out there. It's going to be one operating round more at most, and this is pretty much right there, than the amount of money the bank has, which I think is 6,000, maybe 8,000 in this, I don't remember. Anyway, I'm forced to go one more round, which I thought I had to do anyway. I had to look up in the rules to see. Yeah, I kind of remember something weird being going on in this game. Okay, so after finishing up that last round, we definitely see a lot of track built to handle the Atlanta-Birmingham route. Different variations on it using different amounts of trains. There aren't a lot of dots in play. There's a lot of different routes to get through places. It's not a difficult... you don't have these big long tracks that one person controls and that everybody else is trying to make parallel tracks through. Cities don't tend to be huge blocking points because of that. You get this tangled mess of track. which is cool, but it does make it more complicated to count points, runs. So I also kind of spreadsheeted in my own little silly way the values. The fourth player, the guy who did the gummo, ended up winning with a grand total of 4170. Three of the other players, everyone except, strangely enough, the guy with two companies, ended up really, really close, within like less than $100 of each other, within $30, basically, of a range. But yeah, we're definitely seeing holding lots of shares, as always, was good. Stock value didn't turn out that important because of some of the big runs that were available. Those G&O shares not being worth anything for a long time gave a lot of power to this guy so he could hold more shares, make more money. He had enough cash to hold all the shares, or to hold enough. So it worked out pretty well, I think. I'll be back with the wrap up.